Hello, traders out there in Traderland. My name's Des Woodruff, and welcome to the weekend edition. You're here at Grok Trade, and we're taking a look here at the markets. You're going to need a pencil and paper and taking great notes, as I'm going to be going through a lot of charts very quickly. We'll be doing daily, weekly, and monthly charts on all major indices, and I'm also going to take a look at the banks or financials and also the dollar. Very important that we do that. So let's just hit the ground running here. The S&P daily. Let's pull in a lot of information here. You can see we're in a large rising wedge, and with that rising wedge, we have a massive up leg that's taken place here. So bars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bars up. I don't count inside trading bars. So 6 bars up is about as long of a leg as you're going to get. They could go bigger, but it's an anomaly. It's a bell curve. 5 to 6 is about the extent of your legs, either up or down. And we definitely have an extended, very old lifespan of this up leg, so it's really looking for a reason to turn around. And we think a reason might be coming up pretty soon, this big trend line. And let's take a look at the trend line, see where it derives from. Go way back here to last April, and April coming up to February, and then February to April where we're at now. And that's the line that we have. Blow this up so we can see it. So we could actually get up there, and that would put us right around 1370 to 1372 area before we hit that mark. And let's look at the weekly. The weekly on the S&P looks pretty bullish by any stretch of imagination. We had this little bullish pennant, and boom, nice breakout here. However, the CCI is now, this is a banded oscillator by the way, is now on a bought area yet again. So it's up there quite a bit, and there's actually another line I need to draw here which I haven't done yet. This swing to this swing, and that's that resistance we were looking at on the daily, that imminent, it's knocking at the door. And let's also take a look here at the monthly. We have a nice uptrend here, and we're making we had a little hiccup here. See the lower high, lower low. Last month was really tough, but going into this new month, by the way, this video is good through Sunday, May 1st. We are done with April. We're finished with April right now, and so here we're looking at a resistance area. The resistance area that we're looking at here is 1368 coming across, and then the 1400 mark. So the monthly, we do have some resistance, fairly close. Now let's also take a look here at the Dow. Remember, the Dow only has 30 stocks in it, and we have a trend line coming up pretty close here. So let's go back. Let me show you where this derives from. And we have resistance and resistance back here in May and June, last May and June. And then we come up, and then we're this February, and then from February we come up, and that's where we're at. So actually we have another line here. If I go way back here, resistance, this is December of 08, going into January 09. Didn't quite make it to these lines, but we definitely hit right here in April. And then from April, we come up. That's about where we're at right now. So I could see us getting up there, hitting our head, and then dropping. Let's see what the weekly shows us. The weekly here, I could probably even put another trend line from there to here. That would mimic what we were just looking at on the daily. So we're coming pretty close here. But we're clearing new highs, all is well, on some decent volume too, on the weekly chart. And then on the monthly Dow, we just continue up in this up leg. We do happen to be at a resistance point. That's the 12,814, and that's about where we're at right now, a little shy of that, but that's a resistance point, as you can see, and we stopped right there. Question is, can we get up to this upper trend line, which would put us around 13,360, and a lot of people are calling for about 13,000 before it wants to retrace, but we'll call it when we see it. And here's the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is not clearing the highs as nice as the S&P and daily. What they're doing, but we happen to be at a resistance point, and you can see a trend line coming up. You can see support here, resistance here, resistance, support, going down, support here, November, December area, and then down here in late September, going into October, right here, and then here. A lot, and we could go back, I'm sure, but a lot of areas of support, and that just happens to be where we're at now. And you can also see we're starting to roll over. See the trajectory that we were heading up here, but look at this. We're rolling over with our highs. And so it wouldn't surprise me now that we have what looks to be a hanging man at the top of this daily chart that this wouldn't be ready to start rolling over, but we'll have to watch that to see if it's going to do that. Here's the weekly on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's cleared some highs, not looking too shabby here. Need to get another line in from that swing to this swing. So we have that trend line that's going to act as resistance. So that'll be something we'll certainly be watching there because it's very close to where we're at right now. Here's the monthly chart. Monthly chart, we did clear barely a area of resistance, which is 2861. We have another one coming up at 2895, 2900 area. Be watching that very closely. The question is can we get past that? Be anybody's guess. There are small caps, those that play our stock picks each week, those that are on the V newsletter. And you can always sign up for that if you want to. But this here this index represents the small caps quite a bit. We have a nice run up, but look at this. We're at resistance, gang. Very important that we see this resistance line. Well, this line comes from this swing high in February, going up to the one late March, going early spring. That's precisely where we're at right there. But we have this other trend line that's acting as resistance. Come down, support, support, support in February and March. Also in January, and coming down here to November. So that line also coincides with this one, and they come together, both acting as resistance after an extended run to the upside. So as a technician, we know that there's a really good chance, and the odds are with us, for a drop to commence going into this next week. Let's see what the weekly shares with us. And with the weekly, we have a nice run up, really nice. And I could extend this back, see if I can capture anything. Yeah, so we do have some resistance, a big rising wedge. We're over bought here on the CCI, and so we got to be careful here. Can it blast through? It can, but right now the formations that we're seeing here are pretty bearish by anybody's standards. And then we have a monthly chart on the Russells, which trumps them all. And we're right here just clearing that resistance line. Now, how we came up with that line is simply by drawing this line, this blue line, swing low to higher swing low. And we copied that and dropped it to that swing high. And that's right where we're at. So on the bearish one, we do have a hanging man and then a second hanging man for the month of April. So we do have a reversal pattern. Stochastics banded oscillator is also showing that we're very overbought on the monthly. So we've been very bullish, so bullish for so long that a lot of bulls start to get complacent, thinking, hey, we just need to be bullish because that's where we're making all of our money. Well, if you don't safeguard yourself and you don't protect those profits that you make, they will be taken from you. It's just a matter of time, because every stock that goes up also comes down. We go up and then we come down. We go up and then we come down. And right now we happen to be in an uptrend, but we're at a resistance point of an uptrend. So we're looking for that down leg to take place. Those are the major indices. Now we want to look at the dollar. So this is the UUP. It's the power share ETF for the dollar, and the dollar's just been getting its brains beat in, down on increased volume, major volume flowing into this downward move. And our dollar's just dropping like a rock, gang, and that's causing gas prices to go up, and we might be looking at some serious inflation coming into the future. And so anyway, is this of concern to me as a trader, as an investor? The answer is yes. And you can take advantage of playing this by looking at the UUP or just trading the straight currency. But there's a trend line I want you to see. We're definitely in a downtrend. I got a couple trend lines coming down, those blue ones, and you can see going back last June, and then we come here into 2011 January, and we have that line. But this red one is I really want to pay attention to this red one. Let's show you what this is. We're at a support area, support, resistance right here. Then we come up in resistance back here in last November of 2010. When we have that support line and we're dojied out after an extended run down, I'm expecting the markets to bounce fairly soon, or the dollar to bounce. If the dollar bounce, that will put heaviness on the markets, and the markets will want to go down if the dollar rallies and goes up. So it does not surprise me to see that the technicals are showing us that we could be in the relatively near future, we could be in for a downward move in the markets, but we also have the dollar coinciding with that opinion in that sentiment read that we're reading in the technicals. So again, we are dropping on significant volume, and if we do rally here, that will put stress on the markets, and the market should drop if we see that. And we do see an opportunity for the markets to rally. We have a small doji. So could you play this? The answer is yes. And what you could do is if we make a higher high, so I'd say the high here was 2097. So if we get to 2106 maybe, enter a trade with a stop loss underneath this doji, and you could probably put that at 2079 perhaps, 2084. And then that's all you'd be risking. You'd be risking the difference between your entry and then see how much of a run you might be able to get out of this. So something to take a look at. And the financials, this is the bank index. It's on the NASDAQ. It's 460 some banks. It's the largest index of banks that are out there. The thing I want to show you, and I want you to really understand what this is that I'm showing you, is this big symmetrical triangle. And we have big support here in November, and then coming up right here in April, and then resistance, all of 2011. And we have a monster symmetric triangle. But look at all these moving averages. Look how they converge into each other. See this? Tighter, 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 tighter. Well, this is coiling. See the coiling and the pinching? Stocks hate to be pinched. ETFs hate to be pinched. This is building up a huge amount of power. So anytime you have the banks or the financials winding or constricting like we see here, it's building up a massive amount of power. This will pop one direction or the other. Right now it's on an up leg, so it's poised to hit and then drop. The question is, will this lower trend line act as support? Will the upper trend line act as resistance? Which one will fail? If we break out of this to the upside, that will be very bullish for the markets. If we drop here and break down below, that will be very bearish for the markets. The markets are only strong as the the financials. So watch the technicals on these financials, the bank index, or just stay tuned to what we're doing here at Grok Trade. We'll keep you abreast to the very latest. Now, again, you can't play anything short until you're in fact getting droppage in the market. So even though I'm foreshadowing what I'm seeing here, be careful you're not too early. That's a sure way of giving up money. And I want to show you something else here. I'm going to pull over a chart here, and this is FinViz, and anybody can go there. Just FinViz. You can see the ticker symbol here. So finviz.com. and I clicked on groups right here. Once you click on groups, let's go back for the week. Healthcare did very well. Usually you don't want to see healthcare doing that well because that's the first sector in the market rotation or the sector rotation that goes into a downward spin. So that's actually a very ominous thing to see healthcare picking up this much speed. But financials are at the bottom. Basic materials were doing very good, but they have simmered down quite a bit for the 1 month. Financials at the very bottom. That is a red flag to me as a trader. Healthcare doing extremely well. Third, 3 month performance. Financials at the very bottom. Healthcare doing extremely well. Gang, this is the makeup on what you should see right before the markets take a nosedive. The other thing you should see is energy spiking. So we're well over $112 on crude oil, and we have gold, or we do have commodities, gold and silver breaking all-time highs. But we also have solar picking up some speed. So you have your energy crude, you have your solar picking up speed. Those are ominous signs on what's to come. And a lot of people say trading may go away. Well, that very well could be the truth here, especially with the QE2 coming to an end in June. So let's hope for the very best here in the market. So this is a long video, and I appreciate you being with me, but I wanted you to be well educated into this. So do me a favor, spread this on to a friend. Let others know about what we do on a daily basis to give you the very latest of technical analysis and the very best and the deep technical look of the broad markets as a whole. We do a pre-market video each morning, and we do an afternoon post-market video every day. And then on Friday, we do the weekend edition, is the one that you're watching right now. And we do this to be a service to the masses. We have over 150 countries coming to the website, tens of thousands that watch this video, and thank you for being a part and being one of those. And we do mentor. I will take you in personally under the wing and teach you how to trade. All you have to do is fill out the form. Go to freeonlinetradingeducation.com/ that's / mentorship. Fill out the form and we'll get back with you with a lot of information. We'll also invite you to a live webinar where you can hear more about the mentorship. Take care and safe trading. Remember that trading is all about capital preservation. Remember to focus on trading and trade well, and let the byproduct be profitability. Take care, and the very best to you out there in the markets.